My name is Hannah, and this is my year of less stuff. Last looks. My eyebrows are looking fine for once. My bangs are going to the side today. I don't know why. I didn't ask them to do that. They're making their own decisions these days. And I'm feeling my full grunge fantasy. And we're going to talk about the Sephora sale. I am generally anti-sale. I'm not against getting a thing on sale. I'm against like these big sales that are like events, sales that are like, they're sort of like advertised as a party that we are all invited to and that we all want to go to, and we end up treating them that way. And I'm against them because in my experience, actively shopping a sale always causes me to spend more money than skipping a sale. So they're being sold to us as like a way to save money, but it never works out that way. At least it has never worked out that way for me. And I think that it's particularly insidious because the feeling that you're saving money, the promise of saving money, the just kind of like the deep in the gut compulsion to get something on a deal, as people say, it tricks us out of seeing what's really happening, which is that by shopping the sale, we're spending more money than we would be spending if we skipped the sale. And I don't like that. I don't like that trick. I don't like how incredibly deeply it grips so many people. Like I see people who are really, really compulsively can't help themselves from buying something when it's on sale, even though the net result is like extra spending and sometimes even debt. And I just don't like that. I don't like seeing corporations take this kind of advantage. I mean, any advantage of us, obviously, but this kind of advantage, it really, really rankles. So in my time on YouTube, I've become kind of like a big sale conscientious objector. And like I said, I'm not against getting a thing on sale. Like if you go to buy a thing and it's not full price, like it happens to be on sale or you have a coupon or something, and so you get the thing that you were gonna buy, but you don't have to pay as much for it, I think that that is great. But I'm against like the sale industrial complex. And I feel like the Sephora sale, at least for us as makeup consumers, beauty lovers, the Sephora sale is the big one. It's like the one that's the most emblematic of the sale industrial complex. And that is why I think I have made a video, like a sale survival video, on the occasion of every Sephora sale since I started my YouTube channel. I might have missed one or two here or there, but I might not have. That's just to say that I have a bunch of other sale survival videos up on YouTube. I'll try to whip that playlist into shape and link it down below. I know that my playlists have gotten abysmally outdated over the past several months. And I've seen your requests to go in and shape them up. I'll try to find the time to do that. But before I post this video, I'll definitely shape up the sale survival playlist so that you can watch it all the way through if you want to. Because like I say every time, I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much. I'm going to try to just speak to this sale and speak to today, but there's a bunch of information in those past videos that is still valuable and still relevant. And it might go without saying, but particularly for this video, I've been thinking about how the global pandemic might be affecting our desires and our behaviors, and how that might have bearing on what happens to us and how we want to behave, and then how we decide to take ourselves in hand during the upcoming Sephora sale, which if I time this right, should be starting today. So that's what this video is going to be about. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. So I've been going along, tootling through my weird little life right now, like just in my studio apartment, going about my business, writing, filming, worrying about the future, looking out the window, and thinking about this, like what's going on, and thinking about you guys and how you might be doing out there, and kind of applying all of those thoughts to the sale and kind of trying to project like what different kinds of confluences of events might be going on out there for various people in various situations, so that I can kind of try to speak to them. And of course, I've been informed in that thinking by the conversations I'm having with you in the comments and in DMs, and also by my own experience, because a lot of it's just like, you know, I'm going through it too. And one of the main things that's going on right now for me is that my finances have been destabilized because I can't work at the main job that I used to work at, which was the job that paid our bills. So I've been really leaning heavily on my other jobs, but also Joe and I have been having to plan for like what will happen if this goes on for a really long time and we can't go back to our other job because we won't be able to continue with business as usual, just ad infinitum, if that job never picks back up again. So there's a lot of uncertainty and less stability, and I know that a lot of you out there are dealing with that as well. And with financial instability comes a different kind of relationship to consumerism, to buying stuff. But I suspect that that relationship could kind of go either way. And that's a little bit of what I'm going to talk about. Could go either way when it comes to a sale. So I feel like that's one factor. I know that not everyone is dealing with that. Some people still have their awesome jobs. Some people have always worked from home and nothing has changed. But I think that I can confidently say that a larger percentage than usual of you to whom I'm speaking are dealing with like some money anxiety and uncertainty right now as we go into this sale. So that's really different than any other sale video that I've made before. The other thing that's going on right now is just because of that high level of uncertainty, and also just because of sadness and empathy. Like maybe you're out there and you're completely set up and you have everything you need and you have your job and you have a great house and you live somewhere you can go outside, and for you almost nothing has changed. But there's so much that's sad right now. It's just, I feel like even the most untouchable person in terms of her own security or her own future is being touched by what's going on globally, because it's just so heartbreaking. So all of us are experiencing just like this darkness, and that, no matter who you are, I think that that can provoke like a desire for something, some comfort, just a little something. And you know, in a way, it's like a good instinct, because sometimes you do need a little something for self-care. But because we're experiencing this like global insanity and we're all battling with our mental unpreparedness for like processing what's going on, no matter how much it's affecting each individual person, I think that as a group, all of us, all of you watching and me, we are all feeling like a higher than usual pressure to just like find something to hold on to, like something that'll make us feel good in the midst of all of this stuff that's making us feel bad. So that heightened pressure is something that we're bringing into this sale with us, and that is something that makes this different also from all of the other sale videos that I've filmed before. So I've been sitting here in my apartment asking myself, Hannah, like what are the various ways that the confluence of these things could be affecting people, and also how are they affecting you? I've been asking myself. So me, how are they affecting you? But it's me. You know, when you're talking to yourself, like when you're just sitting there talking to yourself. So I think that in some cases, if you're dealing with like a serious financial disruption, like suddenly you really don't know where your money's going to come from, how you're going to pay your bills, you're looking for a job because you don't have a job, you're having a hard time getting a job. Like if you're really, if money is like a huge stressor right now, which I think for a lot of people, unfortunately it is, then there's a chance that being in that situation might be helping you to understand fully, completely and fully, that makeup on sale still is expensive. Like a Sephora makeup on sale still costs a lot of money, because if you're paying really close attention to your actual bank balance, your actual impending bills, where your next money is going to come from, your next money, you know what I'm saying? If you're focused on your finances, if you're really paying attention, it might be easier than it's ever been before to see through the ruse of a sale as being a way to save money. And I have seen a lot of my friends out there on YouTube, and I've seen people in the comments saying that they're just not buying makeup right now, sale or no sale, because they just can't, or it just doesn't feel right, or there's just too much uncertainty. And if you have that clarity, and if you have that grit, and you've been able to make a clear, hard decision, and you'll be able to stick through it, through the sale, to it, through the sale, then that's great. Then you're all set and you don't need me. But I have a feeling that that's not what's going on for everyone. And I think it's very realistic to suppose that there are many situations in which this could be the perfect storm for sale overspending. Even if you are paying close attention to your finances, the very high level of anxiety and the need for just something, I think, could easily cause a person to overspend on sale makeup because we so desperately want to buy in to that lie that you're saving money by doing it. So it's like, we're really worried about money. I'm over here really worried about money. And the sale comes along. I'm really worried about money, but I also just feel like I can't breathe, and I really just like need something, some little treat, something special, something that reminds me of normal times. And then along comes the Sephora sale, and we're like, oh yeah, shopping a sale, that's a thing that you do when you're smart with money. And I'm really worried about money, so I'm going to shop the sale. It doesn't make sense like financially, but I can so easily see how our like one's thinking would twist that way, and then how one could like get into a really deep hole of having spent money that it isn't a healthy choice to spend right now on the sale because of that panic, because of that anxiety. It's like that thing where you're so worried about your management of your finances, and you're so worried about your financial future that you spend money to make yourself feel better. I'm not judging. I did that for years. That was my life for years. Or maybe on an even more basic level, there's no rationalization. There's no like, oh, I'm going to save money, or no sort of like, you know, curtaining one part of your brain off from the other part so that you can go put a bunch of stuff in your cart and check out. None of that, but just like on a very deep base level, this kind of like, screw it, I'm just going to do it and come what may. Because things are so hard that you just can't be accountable or can't process this stuff, can't be a grown-up right now. And the Sephora sale comes along and you're like, this is the perfect way in which to just throw all caution to the wind and just kind of like give up or let go in this moment. And I think that because of what we're trying to process, because of what we're going through, because of the grief and the sadness and the not knowing, I think that there are probably a lot of us who are like looking for a reason to do that, or feeling this close to doing that than there usually are. So what are we going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? I'm basically just here to remind you that the savings aren't that good. Like, the amount of money that you're going to save is minuscule compared to the amount of money that you're going to spend if you shop the sale. Now, Sadie, you keep squeaking during the video. Shh. Sadie. And that an excellent rule of thumb right now more than ever, is to only buy something on sale if it is something that you would definitely be buying even if there wasn't a sale. And that's basically it. That's the whole video. I mean, I'm not going to stop here, but that's all I really feel like I need and want to say, is just like, you're not going to be saving money if you shop the sale. You're going to be spending money. And I think a good way to really drive that home for yourself is to kind of act like there's not a sale and only buy the stuff that you would happily be buying right now in any case. I have a note here in my notes that says, and I feel like this is kind of good advice, that's why I wrote it in my notes. If you're feeling like something has just got to give, like if you just have got to have something and you've just like automatically, before it's even started, chosen the Sephora sale as that thing, or chosen some makeup at Sephora as that thing because of the sale, is there something else that you can buy? And I don't usually endorse buying stuff as like a way to soothe the desire to buy stuff, but I have done it a little bit lately. Like I've mentioned it before. I think I talked about it in my check-in, but there've just been a few little things that I've gotten because I just felt like something had to give. You know, like I ordered those bath products from House of Glory, even though I already had some bath products that were nice. I get it that something has to give, and sometimes, especially when we are really like in panic mode, or we're dealing with putting our life together on a basic level rather than like on the highest level, then if something's got to give, something's got to give. But in this case, because Sephora is expensive and for some of us maybe kind of compulsive, is there something else that you can buy that can be kind of like a talisman that won't cost nearly as much and won't be as sort of like triggeringly gooey and exciting and fantastical as makeup? So something like tea, something consumable. I mean, makeup's also consumable, but you know what I'm saying, like something, or like a nice treat that you don't usually get yourself, or something like for your physical health, something that's just totally in another category that's not usually a problem category for you, but that will help to scratch the itch, that will help with this feeling inside that it's like, I need something that help to soothe like the 3-year-old that's pitching a fit because you can't explain to a 3-year-old, the 3-year-old inside of you, I mean, the 3-year-old in your brain that's pitching a fit because you can't explain to a 3-year-old, you can't reason with a 3-year-old about a global health crisis. And so even though you are reasonable on the outside, inside there's this part of you that's just like, I need a sweetie. I need a sweetie. I was once in a supermarket in Italy. I could have been anywhere, but where I happened to be was Florence, Italy, when I was studying abroad there during my junior year of college. And it's totally weird that this actually happened in a supermarket in Florence. But I was standing in line, and in front of me there was a mother. They must have been British because the child was screaming in a British accent. The mother did not speak the entire time, but she had with her a little child who was screaming at the top of her lungs, I want a sweetie, I want a sweetie, I want a sweetie, I want a sweetie. Upset, but also just relentless. Like it was like this strategy of relentless screaming. And I'm not doing a very good, I just gave like a very dry and not very dramatic reenactment. It was more like, I want a sweetie, I want a sweetie, like that, you know, over and over and over. And it was just like on repeat, like someone had pressed the play button and it was on repeat from the moment that they got in line, and then I got right behind them and we went through this long grocery checkout line. I want a sweetie, I want a sweetie. Bless this mother's heart, she did not buy the child a sweetie. Parenting goals. And then they left. They went out the front door with the woman with the groceries in one hand and the child in the other hand. I want a sweetie. I want a sweetie, out the door and down the street. Can you even? And I love it because that is what's going on. That's what's going on. That child is awake inside of me and screaming, I want a sweetie. I want a sweetie every moment right now, because it's only fair that if we're going to go through this, that she gets a sweetie, you know what I mean? And so I'm just saying, like, if you need a sweetie, if you're like, if part of you is just like, I want a sweetie and I want a sweetie, and then Sephora is like, guess what? We're having a sale. And then you're like, yes, I'm going to get her all the sweeties, because it feels like permission. The fact that the stuff is 10, 15, 20% off, like a couple dollars off, the fact that it's a couple dollars off, it feels like permission. And that child has been screaming for so long that you're like, I'm finally going to do it. And all I'm saying is you might actually need to get her a sweetie, but maybe you can get her like a healthy, inexpensive one that will trick her into just shutting up for a little while. Another option along very similar lines when it comes to like quieting that screaming child, throwing yourself a bone, but without, you know, buying yourself out of house and home at the Sephora sale, or endangering your future, or making yourself feel like sick with guilt later, or, you know, all of these other potential terrible results that could come from basically not having a strategy in place and going into the sale just like crazed by quarantine and needing a sweetie. I'm giving you permission to buy just one thing. We are so averse to buying just one thing. I find it so difficult. It was one of the habits that I actively tried to break after my no-buy year, when I started buying stuff again, and I had the clarity to see that problem in me, that I feel like I need a little Easter egg basket full of treats before I check out my cart. And so I do this thing of like gathering them together and like curating my cart. It's so dumb, but I curate my cart. I like it when I buy like 3 things together and they all kind of complement each other. Buying one thing, for some reason, it feels wasteful. How demented is that? There's something about it that feels wasteful to me. I'm like, if I'm gonna make a purchase, I gotta get at least 3 things to make it worth it. Like, what? And that would be, in theory, I think part of that demented idea comes from the idea of paying for shipping. It's like, if you're going to pay for shipping, you want to get more shipped to you at one time. But I think that Sephora is offering free shipping on all orders right now, so it definitely doesn't apply. If you're going to shop the sale, if you just feel like that's the sweetie that you absolutely need and nothing else is going to do, I give you permission to just choose one thing. And whether it's a good idea or not, whether it's reasonable or not, whether it's a wise choice or not to buy anything at the sale, if you just buy one thing, it'll be better than buying a whole bunch of things. So let me tell you what I'm going to do for the Sephora sale. I'm not going to buy anything on sale. I kind of indicated this in my video about new makeup releases, which should have gone up yesterday. Although maybe I'll post this very, very late at night on Thursday, even though I already posted a video today, so that people can watch it before the sale starts tomorrow, just in case you're out there and you need that. I might do that. I might post it at like 11:30 p.m. before the sale pops. So I am going to be making a purchase during the dates of the sale. It's going to be on the first day, but it's not because of the sale. It's because two things that I really want to review that I have been talking about reviewing for ages and ages since they were first previewed like a month ago. I've been planning to buy them and review them, and they are just by coincidence being released, being launched on the first day of the sale. So I'm gonna buy them when they launch and not because the sale is launching, and I wouldn't be able to take advantage of the sale on that day in any case because I have lost my VIB Rouge status. So if I wanted to buy these two pieces of makeup that I'm planning to review, it's the Patrick Ta Brow, Major Brow, and the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush from Fenty. If I wanted to get them on sale, if I wanted to get a couple dollars off, I would have to wait until the sale opens to just regular old VIBs like me. And I'm like, don't boss me around, Sephora. No, I am gonna just get the things that I want and the time that I was planning to. The sale is not a thing for me. And I do want to make it very clear. It's like this is the confluence of events, right? I'm happening to buy these things at the same time as the sale, so I'm having to talk about it all together. Clearly, because I'm not actually gonna get a discount, if they were launching like way before the sale or way after the sale, I would be buying them then. It's just happening to happen at the same time. But I also want to make it clear that I'm specifically buying these two things to review on YouTube. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would not be buying them. There's maybe a small chance that I would want to try out the Major Brow, but I would be waiting until all the reviews came in. I'd be waiting to make sure that it was perfect for me. I would be waiting till like other YouTubers, not other, because I wouldn't be one in that case, but I'd be waiting until the YouTubers that I watch reviewed it and I could be absolutely sure that it would suit my purposes. So I definitely wouldn't be buying these two products on the launch day. And the Fenty Cream Blush I wouldn't be buying at all if I weren't here on YouTube. It's just a decision that I've made to, help keep my channel kind of juicy and alive and spicy and to help give me content to make and to just participate in this way that I really love. I feel grateful that my platform is such that it feels like it is an actual investment, like a business investment, to get a few things every once in a while for a review. So I just want to explain that if I were in your shoes, if you're out there watching and you don't have a YouTube channel or you don't review makeup for any reason, because of my financial situation, I wouldn't be buying any makeup right now. Maybe some replacement items, but I wouldn't be out there like snapping up the new releases just for fun. And I'm not saying that you absolutely shouldn't or that it would be immoral to buy one thing during the sale if you've lost your job. I mean, you have to make the decision for yourself of what's actually going to make you feel the most balanced and the most cared for and the most healthy. Like, you have to make the decision for yourself. But I am letting you know, in case it matters to you, what I would be doing, and letting you know that the decision I'm making is informed by my entire situation. And part of my situation right now is that this channel has become my only reliable source of income. So it makes sense to really try to tend to it, and reviewing new releases is one of the ways that YouTubers do that. But back to what I was saying before, I'm buying the products when they launch and not when the sale starts for me. I am stubbornly paying full price, and I'm doing it as a way of kind of like resisting the monopoly of the sale. The sale doesn't boss me. It doesn't get my energy. And it's also my way of showing you and showing myself that I would be buying these things regardless. I'm not buying them because of the sale. And nothing shows that more clearly than paying full price for them, even though the sale is so soon for me. So let's dig into the numbers a little bit. And I'm doing it for my own two things that I'm buying, but you guys can apply it to things that you're considering or things you might be buying. So I'm going to buy two things, and each one of them is about $20. The Major Brow is $22, I think, and the Fenty Blush is $20. Tomorrow, when I buy the products, I'll be spending about $40. If I were to wait for access to the sale, like for my 15% off, then when I bought them, I would be spending $36 plus tax. So about $40. About $40, right? So if I buy them now, about $40. If I wait for the sale, kind of like about $40, a little bit less, like a little bit more than $40 versus a little bit less than $40. Either way, it's about $40. The decision that matters is not what I buy during the sale, optimizing the sale. The decision that matters in terms of spending is whether I buy them or not. Another way to say this is that the sale makes a $6 difference. The sale would make a $6 difference in my spending, but choosing to buy them at all makes a $40 difference. Compared to the purchase itself, the sale doesn't matter. I always feel like such a killjoy making these videos because sale time is traditionally such a magical feeling time. I remember the amazing all bets are off feeling of the Sephora sale before my no buy year. I remember feeling like I was part of something, feeling like we were all in it together, feeling like I was finally free to buy everything that was on my wish list. It was such a yummy, happy feeling of relief. It kind of felt like the universe was finally throwing me a bone. And it sucks to be the person up here on this screen telling you that that feeling is a lie. But what would always happen to me was that I would find out after the fact that it was a lie. I would end up spending a bunch of money that I really needed for something else, or I would spend money that I didn't have. I would incur debt. And no matter how good it felt at the time, it was always a bad choice. And I just want to remind you that Sephora doesn't get to choose which times in your life feel magical, or when you get to buy something, or when you can finally buy something from your wish list. You get to choose. I encourage you to unhook your decision-making process about which makeup you might kind of want or need to buy in the next month or so. Unhook that from the fact of the sale and be really, really honest with yourself about what you want and what you need. It is okay to want something to comfort you. I mean, especially now, it is okay. I would never sit here and shame someone for wanting to shop the sale. Girl, I want to shop the sale. I want to shop the sale too. I want that magic back. And it's more than even wanting all the makeup. It's not even about wanting all the makeup. It's it's wanting to buy all the makeup. I want to put all the makeup in my cart. I want it to be like that Christmas morning feeling. So it's okay. It's okay to want and to feel like you want a sweetie, It's okay. But I just want to say it out loud in case someone out there needs to hear it, that no matter how great a piece of makeup seems, it is just not going to change your life. Even though you used to buy stuff at the Sephora sale before, when life was normal, buying a bunch of stuff at the Sephora sale now is not going to make the world go back to how it was before. New makeup isn't going to make you a happier person under your current circumstances. New makeup isn't going to improve your ability to handle your current stress level. If you have a reason to want a new piece of makeup that's outside of those false expectations, if you have a true reason and your expectations are clear, if your eyes are clear and you can afford it, then go for it, sale or no sale. But I hope that you will all be able, and I also hope this for myself too, with the Sephora sale and just going forward in general with consumerism, with our relationships with consumerism during this time. I hope that we'll all be able to resist falling into the trap of thinking that we can buy freedom or buy happiness or buy our old lives back. You can't buy your old life back just because Sephora is having a sale. I hope that doesn't sound too harsh, but I just feel like it's a lesson that we'd learn anyway, but we'd learn it after spending a bunch of money, getting a bunch of stuff in the mail, and then not actually getting our old lives back. And I just feel like it makes sense to say it now instead of waiting and having to learn it as a very expensive or debt-inducing lesson. And that is it. That was my pep talk for me, for myself, and for you. And let me know what you think. I would love to hear what you're planning to do in the comment section down below. If you have any bits of advice for each other, for how the sale is hitting you, what your process has been. Have you gone through, I've kind of gone through the ups and downs of wanting to buy stuff and then realizing that's not a good idea, and then feeling like I want a sweetie and then being mad at myself for wanting a sweetie. It's there's this whole roller coaster, and what I really care about is coming through on the other end without having spiraled completely down, without having spent $300 at Sephora because they were having a sale at this time. that's that's what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to spend 0 at the sale at this time. I know that that's not the best choice for everyone, but I hope that you guys will be able to make a choice that at least is like a good one, or a not bad one, or a not terrible one for you. And that is it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I really hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work